Hi, this is Shadi, and today we will be discussing Shohei Ono's Ne Waza. Shohei Ono, easily one of the greatest of all time, today winning his second Olympic gold medal. Of course, there is 3 world titles as well. So his Ne Waza is not often mentioned because he is, I would call him an Ippon judoka, very much like the Abe siblings, Joshiro Maruyama, and of course the great Kosei Inoue. He would want to finish things standing up quickly and swiftly with power and technique and precision. But that doesn't mean that his Ne Waza is absent. It's simply he is too good standing up to ever showcase his Ne Waza, or rarely showcase his Ne Waza. So today we will go through some of the Ne Waza examples and see his choice of techniques, and I will leave a bonus at the end, which is actually a loss in Ne Waza. So the first example that we will see is actually the 2019 World Championship, and in my opinion, one of the best World Championships ever. Against Yunis Eyal Salman, he goes into Uchimata, doesn't quite finish it or gets the Ippon, and transitions into Kuzure Keza Gatame. Here you see easily gets the win with it. Let's see here the Uchimata stab. The bent leg would almost make you think he's going for Hanegoshi, but his hips are quite outside, reaping the thigh, so it makes it an Uchimata. Here you see a Tomoe-nage, failed into scoring Ippon, transitions easily into Kuzure Keza Gatame against Yartsev. So Kuzure Keza Gatame, unlike the Hon Keza Gatame, you don't wrap the head with your arm, but rather go under the armpit, pinning the shoulder, and also as a great option you can grab the collar or the lapel. Once your hand is underneath the armpit, grabbing it. Here you see also grabbing the hand on the other side is crucial. Not getting the shoulder on the ground is also very crucial to prevent an escape. Don't be too high and also don't be too low to prevent an escape. Always in the middle. Let's go into 2011 against Max Stewart. Easily transitions into Juji Gatame after a failed Osotogari. A failed Osotogari, or an Osotogari that did not quite score an Ippon, will actually land you very close to the upper body. No need to pass guard, so getting a Juji Gatame would be fairly easy. Let's see here against a failed Sutemi Waza against Damien of Poland. Gets on top, scores with Juji Gatame. Again, classics of Judo, Keza Gatame and Juji Gatame will always get you the win, no matter the level. So here, against Chingdaga in the Asian Championships, Tomoe-nage that doesn't quite get there. This time, he's the one sacrificing himself into Juji Gatame. I know there's many judokas that actually target this, like Charlene Van Snick, Flavio Canto in the old days, Tsunoda, current world champion under the 48 kilograms, but Ono would actually go for the Ippon, for that throw, for that decisive, clear Ippon, but sometimes you don't always get your way, so finishing it in Ne Waza, his transition is actually great, either defensively or offensively. We saw the Juji Gatame being applied defensively against Sutemi against Poland, and offensively in the Asian Games. Now, the next example is against Adrian in 2015. Here you see Ono against a failed Seoinage gets the choke. Again, one of the classical examples of when you would apply a Okuri Erijime. Here you see easily gets tapped, what we call a clock choke or bow and arrow. Here you see this is the basic form of Okuri Erijime, or sliding collar or lapel strangle. There's multiple variations to it. For example, when you hear Kanto choke, clock choke, bow and arrow, these are all considered Okuri Erijime. This is again the basic form. Very reminiscent of Kosei Inoue's Ne Waza. Kosei Inoue's Ne Waza was very rare, but here you see being defensive against Bohr in 2007 in Paris. Same thing, gets the lapel, whips it around here against Gicarauli of Georgia in the Mixed Teams Championship. Chikarauli goes down, doesn't feel the threat, Inoue whips the lapel and does the same as Ono, hooking the leg and getting the tap. So let's talk about the bonus loss of Ne Waza. So when it comes to these great champions, often the Osaikomi seems to be the Achilles tendon. So many wins in judo with Osaikomi. The time is very limited in order to get an escape. Here, this is a very historical moment in judo. This is where Kosei Inoue realized that he has to retire. He is no longer the best, not even in Japan. Here you see in the plus 100. Here he realized in his interviews that, you know, it's time to hang up my jacket, my judo gi, and actually retire. It's one of the most emotional moments, in my opinion, in judo. Let's see here against Wang Ki-chung of Korea. Here you see Ono is trying to battle him in Ne Waza. Ono is actually trying to get the pin, but the Korean actually rolls over with a beautiful crocodile roll and actually gets Ono in what we call a Kuzure Kami Shiho Gatame and actually pins him. Ono's losses are very rare, and here you see in Ne Waza is also, I believe this is the only time he lost in Ne Waza, against Wang Ki-chun of Korea. Gets him. This is one of those pins, just like Kuzure Kezagatame. If you get it right, it's almost impossible to escape, and here he gets the ippon. Let's see the crocodile roll again. Ono is actually trying to roll him into Ne Waza, but brilliantly rolls and getting Ono under him and actually pinning him for the win. Let's see it here up close, the Kuzure Kami Shiogatame. So you get like an overhook on the arm and grab the collar from behind the neck, and an underhook to grab the belt and getting them into the pin. Here you see you have the classical Kami Shiogatame where you get a double underhook grabbing the belt, but here you see, in my opinion, this is a far superior variation. So here you see he's showing you that you have to actually grip the lapel for a far closer and tighter grip so they cannot get up and escape. So this is Shohei Ono, again, one of the greatest. He will go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest. Kosei Inoue today said that he is the greatest that he's ever seen. A combination of precision, power, and of course technique. His strength is just insurmountable, in my opinion. His foundation, his legs, his upper body strength, all of it makes him a complete judoka, in my opinion. And here it's a great chance to discuss his Ne Waza, because again, we are very much focused on his Osotogari, Uchimata, Tomoenage, and many other throwing techniques, but we rarely discuss his Ne Waza because he does not need to go into Ne Waza that often. So if you have anything else to add, let me know down below. Also, consider supporting me on Patreon. I have exclusive content for the patrons only. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.